Debi Sementelli here. It's been a long time, but I'm a lettering artist and calligrapher and font designer. And so what I'm actually doing today, this is some black letter, and I just took a workshop in black letter. And so black letter is not something that I normally do. So I thought, it's always cool to try to improve your skills and do something different. So I normally work in brush and hello. Let me see. Kingling. Hi. Thanks for watching me. So anyway, so this was done by the instructor who is incredible. And Anita Hoffmeister. And this is like what I kind of did in the workshop. So, I was getting the hang of it, which is really cool because it's always fun to learn something new. Here's some more letters. And so what I did not get to do was kind of do a saying in black letter. I kind of did a little sketchy thing of what I might want to do. And so I thought, you know what? I will do that for you guys and show you kind of something about black letter. So, oh, now how's it going? Anyway, so thank you. Thanks for watching and hanging out with me, and hopefully it'll be something fun for you. So these are the black letter minuscules, which are lowercase, and these are the uppercase majuscules. And so again, not something that I normally do. So what I do on Sundays is I call it giving myself permission to learn. So, I always like to try to do something maybe that I haven't done before and just get better at it. So that's what I'm going to do today. So I've already kind of sketched out a little bit. It's probably not something that you can see. I got my light table going on here. And I'm using a parallel pen. This is a 3.8 millimeter parallel pen. And what's cool about these pens, it's a broad edge tip and it has the ink barrel inside. So you don't have to dip it and everything. So we'll start with, and this is just a practice sheet. So this is not like a finished thing, but we'll start with trying to get into the letter M. Now, I'm going to just say that even though I am just learning this, you will find that I like to kind of break the rules. So I might add little things. Like I just think like, well, wouldn't this be kind of cool to come down in here? That's probably a little bit thicker than I wanted. But again, we're just practicing. So, wrong spot. There we go. So here we go. I'm checking with my guide with my letter forms to make sure that I'm kind of doing the right thing. And this is by no means going to be perfect. Get on that tip there. Kind of a fun little thing. Anyway, no means is this going to be perfect, but again, it's all about just giving yourself permission to learn. That is a big thing for me. And if you're a llama follower, you'll know that he is also someone who's into learning things because I'm the mama llama. kind of got my blood there. Okay, no more talking about him. If he hears that I was mentioning, probably don't do that. So, talk about that. I thought, has got a lot of great followers. He likes his stream a lot. Just tells me they're really good people, which is always nice to hear. Here's my son. Okay, so I'm looking for the O. Gotta watch that. Yes, can get trouble down. Took down. Yes, I should have come down a little bit. We'll try it several times. Just having a little bit of. There's so many things I don't know. I just cracked myself up. All right, so now we are going to the U. Everybody is having a nice Sunday. Always have a nice feel. Just chill and relax. Okay, that worked kind of nicely. I kind of like that. You don't know what it's going to say, but just wait. It's like a really cool saying. And I like this parallel pen. A lot of fun. Let's kind of go on the tip here. That down a little bit. I did that a little. That kind of fun. All right, now we got a tricky letter coming up. The S. So it has a lot of twists and turns. And you got to be very careful. It's not too bad. That's coming out right. Yeah, like that. Now we're going to trickiest thing besides when you're just learning something brand new that you've never done before is a lot of a lot of this the spacing. You know, so you're trying to learn a new letter form and you're working with a tool that is not familiar. And then you're also trying to make sure that the letters are spaced properly. So all of that can kind of be a challenge to do all at once, but can it work pretty well, I think. I hope you're enjoying watching. Now we want to add a little. That's kind of cool. All right, now we want F. So fire like about there, come down. The thing about lettering to me is it's very zen-like. It's kind of like relaxing. Oh, that should have come up higher. Okay, let yourself What will be the next word? Ah, what? This. It's definitely maybe not going to fit. Yeah. So I'm going to come down here and put it here. But then I'm going to redo this because I have this really cool idea of what I want to do with this. So I'm just going to right here. Okay. Got to get that pen flat on the paper, or else it kind of doesn't fill out as well. Same thing up on the edge there. So that's not quite as good as what I would have liked, but that's all right. It's learning. Ah, this word did not turn as well. It's kind of fun. So I've got the chat on my iPad, so I can respond to people, but my iPad keeps turning off, and I'm not sure how to keep it on. So we're gonna try to put my mouse up against it. Yeah, because that's how technologically uh, smart I am. Not, but I try. I'm trying. I'm up to learning new things. So I have started to figure out what I'm. Those. That's not working. We'll have to work on fixing those. Should have been that. So somehow off a little bit. So now okay. Let's go. It's actually hard to talk letter at the same letter correctly. Let yourself bloom. Yay! So that's what I'm trying to write. Oops. And that was still wet. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, I'm going to show you something cool. So I was at a workshop last weekend, and I also taught at the workshop. I taught brush lettering, but I got to participate in other teachers, this Anita Hoffmeister teaching Blackletter, and then these fabulous gals who taught paste paper. You make this design on this Arches paper with paint and glue. It's pretty cool. And that was Jerry Wright and Betty Barna. That's the other side. And then Sherry Barber taught us how to make it into a booklet. See, I kind of have this tied together with this linen waxed thread. Pretty cool. And then these are the pages inside. And, you can do lettering in here. But I'm thinking I'm going to do these as a gift for somebody. And this is another one that I made. And this was so much fun. It was like amazing. Oh, that's not working on my That'll be a problem that we'll need to solve. Okay, so let yourself bloom. I think it is. No, still not dry. So let's see. That's going to mark on it. I need to get another sheet. Let's see. Oh, hold on. I got all my supplies nice and handy here. Let's see if I can do it on. Yeah. So it's gonna go like this. If I can collect the pink. There we go. Still, probably because I went over it several times. All right. So now I'm gonna do. Actually, need some tape. Oh, that's a supply I forgot to get. Hold on. Okay. So when we do this on the larger paper, I'm going to do it so that I have room up here for more design. So I'm going to do let yourself. That actually turned out fairly decent for my skill level. Okay. So if I'm looking at where to put this on the paper, and I'm going to want to put bloom here, I really want to put it kind of down here. Fact. I'm going to line it up with that line there. So if I go across like this, like that, be about right, then that'll leave me this area up here to do something I think might be cool. All right. Okay. I'm checking with my techie. Okay. Thanks for being patient. I am really, yeah, I'm just not the best at this. Been a very long time. Okay. That's, all right, we're going to try it there. Okay. So let's try this. And I'm tilting my paper because I'm right-handed. And if left-handed, tilted. It up here. Tip. Really experimenting here. All this is today see, I came around and I was not up on the tip. All right, I'm gonna start this one over. That's like way too much. Oh, again, I don't do black letter enough. So, all right, we're gonna try it again. Yeah. And really, this is kind of just the life of a lettering artist, really. It's a lot of trial and error. And a lot of error, especially when you're just getting used to getting to understand how to manipulate. So I'm going to kind of be a little bit more careful. Really going to pay attention to going up on that side. There we go. Now the good thing is, this is not a piece for a client or like that. So I can just play. Oh, that kind of key there. That's a technical. Let's go further down because last time came a little bit too close to the O there. Well, that turned out good. That's another thing that I think you should do is celebrate if you get one letter that looks good. Like nothing wrong with that because it's how you encourage yourself. All about that. Getting a little bit more comfortable with the parallel pen is good. The more control that you have over the tool, the better you're able to form. So a lot of times when I am doing a workshop, people kind of look at anyone who's been doing something for a really long time and they're like, oh, that looks easy. I think I can do that. And then they try to do it. And of course, it's not as easy as it looks, which can be very frustrating for people and which is understandable. I do the same thing. Like I might go and take a class and think, oh yeah, I can do that. And then of course I also find that, well, it's a lot than it looks. So so you gotta just, give yourself permission to learn. Don't be too hard on yourself. And do a practice piece like this so you can kind of have fun and practice at the same time. Getting a little bit more comfortable turning the parallel pen on its side, on its edge, using that little tip to make those finer lines. Well, that's fun because that's like, ooh, what are the possibilities then? like that. Do this. Just like coloring in. Let's go blend that in a little. Not touch it now. Sometimes it's good also to just stop. Like stop what you're doing because you're going to ruin it. So I can see that if I worked on that more, I might overdo it. So I'm just going to wait. And then once it's dry, I'll go back in and fine tune it. So let's see, I kind of changed that. It was actually the crossbar on the F was lower, but I kind of brought it up. Just wanted to play around with it. Now I'm going to do the word bloom. As I said, Blackletter is not a hand that I normally do. So it's really cool to just play around and see what I can add to it. I can make it my own. And so all these little marks, you know, all these little extra things that you do, that's just kind of how you do that. All right, so I get a ruler, make sure that I got that. Hold on, one moment. Uno momento. Now, that's going to be wet. Very careful to not put this right down. Okay, it's probably a little bit off. So let's just take this carefully. Okay. So I might get a pencil now. Gotta love a pencil. Okay. All right. So, do. Okay. Yes. Go to our. This one I gotta be careful. Didn't do that as well as I to. Straight down. Okay, I'm gonna wait to do this little thing because I have some other plans for up here. A bit closer to me. Generally speaking, whenever you're doing any kind of lettering, it's good to have the paper like kind of right under your nose. And I'm going to hold off on this little doohickey too. Just going to get the basic letters in right now. I'll go back in. Got to be careful here because last time the boat is much better. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's much better. And down here. Okay, good. again. That O kind of not the best, but we're going to live with it. Really trying to do is kind of get just play with the whole concept of this lettering style combined with something else. So I'm now going to get my pencil. So I want to be real careful. Sure, that's going to be wet. So got to be careful about that for one thing. But what I've done over here while that's drying is, so let's put a piece of paper down here. Is I was coming up from the B and I kind of did this design. Okay. So, I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Try to down a little bit. Okay. There we go. All right. So the concept is you have the word bloom here. Oh, I'm sorry, that's actually off of the L. And so what I'm thinking is kind of fun is to have actual flowers blooming. And so that's what I want to play with is how do I create a design that that does that and fills this space up, and I'd like to eventually put in color. So that's what I'm going to be playing with, not on the finished piece, but just on here. So show you what that's going to look like. We can take this piece. This is where I'm going to try to incorporate, this pen, parallel pen, and some other things. So right now, because I'm just getting the concept down, I'm going to get these are some Tombow pens. And so this is, again, I'm just kind of sketching this out, getting a feel for what I want to do when I do the final. And that's something that's really important is to play around a lot with sketches first. Because sometimes you can be overconfident on, oh, I could do this right on the final one and it'll be fine. And then you kind of mess up. And so as much as you can, it's always better to play around with your concepts on sketch paper. And if you'll notice, I am turning the paper a lot. Why I'm doing that is because if I want to get exact curves that I want, it's always better to be pulling a line into your body. All right, so you can see with the word bloom there that this is going to have some really cool effects. So we're try to, I'm doing this, trying out this idea for a flower. It's real fancy. Just kind of want it to, I just kind of want it to be more designy. So we're and let's see. And we're going to need one more because you always want to have 3. Let's come in sets of 3. What if we, this is bloom, right? What happen if we came out this way as well? And then what's to this space in here? Is that going to be right? These are all the questions that you ask yourself when you're playing and experimenting. Just thinking about overall design. So that's kind of fun. It's kind of got some feel to it, which I like. So now we need to look at adding leaves. So in the design, I kind of feel like there could be a cool leaf out here. Not too big. Do fitting one at the L here. I really want to do that. Small one in here. That's kind of work. It's going to be too tight there. This look like no. Sometimes you just know. So we're going to get our eraser. Thanks. Oh, no, the eraser is over here. Okay. And again, if I were to say something that I see people who do lettering, or I should say who are just learning to do lettering, something that they do that I would say is probably I call it a beginner mistake, is that they don't take enough time to play around and sketch things out. I really think that's extremely important. And this could be something that, okay, I like that a lot. That's working really well. But again, like this could be something that I just brought one here. Is that gonna, it's here, it feels too tight in there. But what would one coming out over here? And how can we make sure that it doesn't, nope, that's not working. We got 2 that are working. And that's not bad. And I've got 3 leaves. So it could be that maybe these are just going to have like small bud leaves. Bud leaves. You don't have to have the full-blown leaf. This has to be yeah, that's definitely better. So now I'm going to take another piece of paper and that over here. Okay. So let's play around now with the leaves. Now I'm going to get out. Okay, this is still drying. Just want to show you that. I'm going to get out my color gouache. And I'm going to get out some turquoise. And let's see. Get out my white. About okay. Let's get out some magenta. Let's see. Pretty cool. Got my big. This is my big bin of of gouache. And Viridian jade there. Okay. So I've got some things to play with. So now, again, this is all just playing. See what I want this to look like. So I have my water. And let me get my brush. Okay. I have some round brushes here. One is a small 2, and this is size. All right. Yeah, it's a size 3. Okay. So I'm going to take, first of all, wash. Do this. Really want to lighten that up. I like the idea of the kind of springy light colors. Some white over here. And we never want to mix colors. Let me put my cap on my parallel pen. You never want to use your expensive brushes to mix colors because that just kind of can really cause some problems. Getting too much down in the brush. I want a little bit of yellow. Okay. To add. So I'm going to add a little bit of yellow because I want it to be more of a springy green, happy green, that green. And now I'm just going to experiment with making the leaf shapes. So, brush loaded up. Let's see. Press water there. And so if I were to take well, you can kind of see what it's done. The idea is just to use the brush stroke to actually create the leaf, so that way on the final piece, it's not, painted in. It's actually just a brush stroke. Oh, those, I like those. I like those. Right. Let's come down here and see about doing these little ones. Really just want to give a suggestion. I don't want it to be too much. But I like this saying, let yourself bloom. And that too many people have really, say, over realistic expectations about, their talents, what they can do. Like it takes, you have to kind of grow your talents. You have to be working at them. You have to be playing around and experimenting, which is exactly what I'm doing here, in order to bring them out. They're not just, I think, they're not just going to be there and be fabulous and perfect just after one time of trying, catching on. So that's one of the reasons that I like this let yourself bloom concept, because I just think it's a reminder that we really do have to kind of give ourselves that opportunity to grow and bloom and discover more about our talents. Okay, so now I am to mix up some of the magenta with some of the white. Again, give me a little bit of a softer color, what just comes out of the tube. And that. And now I'm going to switch to the smaller brush because I want to make smaller strokes. I want to kind of experiment a little bit. Let's see. So I want to say I best make stroke. Water. That I like just a little. All right. It's better. And to me, I kind of like this idea of the very structured black letter with a very loose brush. And I'm going to just wait on that because I'm not sure do that brown this way. I get it kind of going down and up. This is where I'm good with it not being perfect because I really like have kind of like an organic feel to the strokes. I don't know if that's too organic. And I do want to try my other brush for a second. See, practice one. Kind of like that. Try that one. Eliminated that because I don't want it to be sharing too much with kind of a oh, I kind of like this brush. I like what it's doing. And hopefully, if you're watching this, kind of just getting a relaxed feel because that's what I like to do is just play and give myself that permission to just relax and play and learn, and then the people watching, like I hope that it's something that is um, relaxing for you to watch. Very much a Zen-like kind of feel for me. I'm looking for a brown. I'm going to mix it with some yellow. Try out something here. Go. I'll get brush. Some yellow. Let's try it. Too dark. I'm actually going to put this away because that all messed up. Come down here and experiment with the stem brown. Number 3 brush. Let's see. Okay, that nice feel to it. Now, I'm going to actually turn the paper around because this is going to give me the best flow. Back to that. Sometimes as I like to say, I pray to the lettering gods. I can make the line do what I want it. I'm connect. Lettering, my lettering gods are two people that have passed away. Incredible lettering artists. Berber, Janet, outstanding brush lettering artist. Alan just did so many things well in so many different styles. We're going to put this all together and see how it looks. So I need my scissors. Get a drink of water too. Excuse me. Okay. Get a scissor. And if you're watching and you have any questions or you just want to comment, please do comment in my chat. I'd love to hear what you have to say. Cut this out. Okay. Okay, I just got to say this. Listen, do you not love the sound of scissors cutting on paper? I have a weird story about that. When I was a little girl, whoops, I used to watch Captain Kangaroo. I am dating myself, but that's all right. So Captain Kangaroo was, to me, just like so cool because he had crayons and scissors and like would do these projects, and the microphone was so close to, because I think it was like right here, it was so close to his hands that when he would, that sound very odd, but when he would cut with the scissors or even draw with the crayons, my scissors go, speaking of, you could hear it. And I don't know why, but as a little girl, I was just fascinated by that sound of the scissors cutting the paper or the crayon, like, you know, on the paper. And I think he used a lot of construction paper. So, you know, with construction paper, you'd have a lot of texture. And to this day, it's like the coolest thing to me to that. It's just so strange, I know. But it cracks me up every time. All right, got that in place. Kind of, we moved it a little bit because once we get the real thing up there. See where we want to put things. Ah, whoops. How about turn it around, Debbie? So that's going to go there. Oh, me likey. Likey. Something to be adjusted. So we're going to cut the flowers because I might have to do these singly because I kind of things. That means I got to move up my. Yeah, I actually have more tape. Don't worry. This is like Captain Kangaroo. Loved that man. Mr. Green Jeans. Oh, need more tape. And the bunny rabbit. Like, it's all so clear to me. Like it was yesterday. I know. It's odd. I know. I'm sorry. Sharon. Is Sharon my love of the captain? I'm going to have to cut this too. So you see, this is one of the things that makes it really good to do this in advance. Because then you can really place things where you want them to go. So excited that I got to play with this today. Cannot tell you, I've been wanting to play. That's interesting. That's too close to that. Now we're going to cut this out. Anyway, yeah, you want to really make sure that things are being placed where you want them to be placed. So doing a sketch first is really helpful for the paper. You'll see. It's going to look pretty cool. Oh, wow. Look at that. That's going to, so now I got to move this. Okay. Kinds of little things. Here we go. Let's try it. That's better. I'll snip this a little bit. That to be shorter. All right. Little blue painter's tape there. Comes in handy. Okay, okay, okay. And we have one last flower. Did not do leaves for this little bit? Oh, one of these, actually this, but so, well, uh, we'll have to do some leaves. Something tells me I did them, but maybe not. Just get that. All right. Now, I remove background. now we can really see how it's going to go. Okay, that's going to work like that. Okay, so now we have to make sure that all these pieces stay together so that when I pull it off, it doesn't matter if it's going to make. Isn't this fascinating? Are you totally enthralled? All right, now we're going to put this on here. Ah, don't do that. Don't switcheroo. Let's put this. You'll see, you'll see. Down. All right. Go. That. Down. Down. Don't want to have any tape where we're going to be applying the brush because that will affect brush, that texture under there. Oh, let's put it all on the outside. This, just FYI, this is the kind of planning that you want to put into a final piece. This is not my, final piece in the sense that I'm getting paid or anything, but it is what I would do. And I would perfect the lettering first. That would be first and foremost. Debbie, here's one thing you didn't think. Sometimes I crack myself up. Yeah. So do I want to move? Good with just moving. It takes a long time to. Anyway, as I was saying, this is still just a practice. This is not a finished piece. I would probably do this several times. Like I said, if I was doing this to get a final piece that I was going to show or that I was going to give to someone, I would actually keep on lettering this until I got it really where I wanted it. And okay. And then I would come in and add all of the lettering. I mean, all of the brush strokes. And, that's why somebody says, oh, you could probably just whip that up in 20 minutes. No, you really can't. So now I am going to be moving my light table. The other thing, sometimes you gotta, and that stroke is not perfect, but I'm kind of cool with that because I kind of, it's not perfect. If I wanted it to, then I would really start over, but no, good with it. But that's our little wire. Okay. Again, I'm deciding what angle I need. Okay. Shh. The lettering God. Okay, you probably saw the top of my head, but to really get a good line, sometimes you got to be like right over it. So sorry about that. Okay. Let's reach. Turn it. Okay. Turn. Get that. Okay, I'm going to do it this way first. Okay. Phew. Sometimes you got to stop too. Like, don't go and retouch that line. Just wait. Just wait. Let it dry. But overall, this is a fun little project to do. It's kind of, a new thing in as far as black letter, and then combining black letter with the brush, which is, this is excitement for me. Like, this is really cool for me. I know. Not funny. All right, I'm even taking a piece of scrap paper so I can see how my flow is on the brush. So we're never going to be able to duplicate exactly, but okay, got the fun organic feel to it. I'm liking it. And again, if I was on my light table, that is my large light table, I would have this on another sheet and be able to move it around. I probably could have done that, put it on another sheet. That would have been the smart thing to do. There you go. But sometimes, you just don't. I'm liking the strokes. I'm gonna make small. It's really to compete with my big stroke. So design wise, I want it to have a much smaller. So now I'm going to get this stroke. Again, when I'm looking at the stroke, yeah, I know. Hope this isn't making you dizzy. I'm sorry, making you dizzy. All right, here we go. So, so again, drawing that into my body is the best way to have control over the brush. And so it's going to give me the best effect. Okay. These over here can be longer because we don't have two. Two. Okay. All right, we're getting there. Oh my goodness. There we go. It's going to be so worth it when it's done. I'm telling you. Okay. Now we go back to the magenta. And I'm keeping this big brush, you know. It just seems to be working best. So water in there. Okay. So I think I was pulling that stroke because I can't remember. Yes. So see, even though I screwed up and I have to keep turning, it's still fun. And I think it's still going to turn out. Give that one a little bit. So much all at the same. Okay. Last but not least, we're so close to being done. We're going to do a little bit of cleanup. Again, so sorry. Don't mean to make everybody nauseous from turning. Next time I will remember this and I will do it differently. But right now we're just working with what we got. So thanks for being patient with me. Again, so if you're liking this, this over now. Let's turn this off. Well, well. Looky, looky, looky. Oh, I forgot to turn on my little lights. Ah, there we go. That's much better. Okay. Now, take all our tape off. Now, one thing I'm going to tell you that I'm not going to do, I am not going to erase this pencil line because as I'm learning about the parallel pen tool, apparently it takes a much longer time to dry than I realized. So I'm going to get rid of all these. Yeah, it would have been good to put these on a piece of paper instead of on the light table. There you go. Lesson learned. Yeah, okay. Times takes it up. Okay. Let's see. Cam. There we go. And okay. So, I might crop this and really kind of leave all this space up at the top, drop it down here so that it looks like this is the ground and where everything's growing. So that's it. That's kind of my little project for today. It's not perfect, but I'm happy with being able to just play around with it. I am going to look at going in and seeing if I can clean up just a little bit some of these lines. Let's see. Oh, I know what I was going to do. Did want to play around with this L. Oh, so that's kind of cool because it kind of works with that. I don't think I want it to cross here. Kind of saw this in my, but kind of interesting. I'll just leave that there. I won't do anything with it right now. Sometimes that's what you need to do. Try to clean this up. This is definitely to get used to how it takes for the gel pen to ink to dry. It's all right. What that, I don't know if that's too much. Just leave that, let that go. I am going to come in to this brown. It's clean. Okay, there we go. So that's my message today. Let yourself bloom. I hope you enjoyed watching and thanks so much. And I'll see you again soon. All right, bye.